Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I'm Bianca. This is Tanner. We are Common Sense editors and really excited to dig into a new tool for you today. We do this every Tuesday, so make sure to check out our other videos. There we go, every Tuesday. And you can always check us out at commonsense.org/education. We have a ton of resources and reviews there for you to see. So today, Tanner, you have a new tool for us. So what is it?
Yes, you can check out this review right here on commonsense.org/education for the site called Fandom Forward. This used to be called the Harry Potter Alliance. Some of you might remember that. They rebranded to be inclusive of not just the Harry Potter fandom, but all kinds of different fandoms that we'll look at. And we rated this 3 stars. It's not going to be for everyone. And it's definitely firmly, I would say, in the high school range, maybe even upper high school. I would say they probably see themselves as targeted more at college students and above, adults as well. But we do think for some scenarios, especially maybe after school or enrichment activities or certain high school scenarios, this could be a good site. And what it is, well, it started as a way for Harry Potter fans to get together and advocate and organize around political issues that matter to them. And that's now expanded into all kinds of different fandoms, giving people who like those properties, like these properties here, you can see, fans of Doctor Who or Black Panther or any Marvel movie or even podcasts like Welcome to Night Vale, giving those people an outlet to take the media properties they love, examine them in the political, cultural, social themes in those properties, and then find ways to engage in political activism around those causes that some of these media properties might deal with. Now, that said, we know that classrooms, schools, politics is a tricky subject, especially when they intersect with social and cultural issues. And you'll see here, the Fandom Forward is very direct about where their political allegiances lie, and it is, I would say this is very much coming from a left progressive point of view. Some of the resources and toolkits, more so than others, might raise the ire of some folks in your school community. But I think the way we look at this is a good set of resources for a teacher to look at and maybe pick and choose from and curate a really good learning experience that won't get you in trouble and that will provide a fair, even-handed political point of view that also takes advantage of some of these things that your students likely are really into. So let's just look at the first one here, which is an Avatar: The Last Airbender toolkit. And I will say that on the site, you can find a lot of other things that focus more specifically on connecting with other people that have these interests and doing workshops or taking real world action, writing Congress people, or participating in book banning, actions against book banning and that kind of thing, or mental health. There's a lot of that type of stuff, but I think what's most relevant for educators is the resources section. And that's where you'll find these PDF toolkits. Unfortunately, there's no real way to filter these by the subjects they tackle, but they each tackle a different set of subjects. But thankfully, they do all follow the same format, which is, as you see here with the Avatar toolkit, they have a set of facilitator tips. Each one talks about representation, which is great if you're digging into media literacy in your class. And then they'll break out into a few different topics. And in each of those topics, there's a talk it out section, which is essentially discussion points. And there's a take action where they point to different things that if students are really into that political issue, things they can do, organizations they can connect with. They also always link to extra resources, recommended reading, parts of the movie or show to look at, themes they didn't quite get into, and that kind of thing. And each one also really digs into the media property. They go very deep into whatever they're talking about, and explain the connections to those themes and topics and how they are surfaced in the show. And you can see they get into heavy issues. The reading level is very high, I would say. This is likely going to be for advanced students, or you're going to have to do some differentiation. But it's kind of irresistible for the right group of students, I think. I think peeling back these layers that exist in these shows and movies, I think are really compelling to students. And you can see there's these in-text links where when they mention an organization, that'll take you directly to those organizations or those extra resources. They have little activities here. This is a neat kind of tea activity. If you're familiar with this show, there's a character here who likes to have tea, is a kind of a wizened old person. And this sort of tea activity invites students to have a tea time and practice sort of speaking, listening skills, and sort of emotional and social connection. So something like that, if you don't want to get into the really difficult political issues, you may find that something like this could really be a great sort of social and emotional learning activity. So if we look at like the Black Panther toolkit, you'll see follows the same format, but here it's focused on racial justice, colonialism, immigrant justice. So they kind of take the media property, look at the key themes, and then form resources around that. And they all have a nice kind of design that connects with the property, echoes some of it. And as I was saying, really give you in-depth information here. Talking about things like Afrofuturism, which would be a really neat topic that maybe a lot of your existing curriculum doesn't quite talk about Sun Ra, for instance, but you can use this to do that. And I wanted to kind of, let's see, here's like a take action section. So they're pointing to Black Lives Matter. Also some great recommended resource, recommended reading. But these are, this is college level stuff. This is really high level, but once again, for the right student, could be really special. I will say, and as a point of criticism, I do think, especially when we're looking at a school audience, there might be a better way to make this more palatable to schools. To make it a bit less so clearly organized around a particular political party or persuasion, and maybe a little bit more neutral, I think could get these into more schools. And I would also say that these toolkits aren't written by scholars. They are written by fans. And in that sense, I would say, I think there are ways to maybe go a bit deeper into some of these topics and present other perspectives, points of view, and to actually complicate these films and shows themselves a bit more. I think the fandom aspect of this maybe clouds some of that critique. But really, you're not going to find much else like this out there, I think. And it's a great starting point for adaptation. But that is Fandom Forward, and this is, I forgot to mention, it is free for all, so maybe worth checking out.
Yeah, that looks awesome. And I like the fact that it provides so many different tools that are really adaptable. So it's not just take it, as it comes. You're able to change it and modify for your classroom.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff there that I think teachers will be able to adapt for their own purposes in creative ways. Um, there's so much in every toolkit, and so many great ideas that I suspect, even if you look at this and you're thinking, "Oh no, this would never go over my school," parents would not be happy about this. I would still take a look and see. You might be inspired by some of
Mhm.
these things.
Yeah, it seems like a really great entry point too. Just the fandom aspect of it. It looks fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Tanner. Alrighty, so you can check out more tools like this at commonsense.org/education and stay posted for more reviews from the team. Thanks.